The topic being fashion, I had to step it up. So I'm wearing Vera Wang's outfit that she came in. Don't worry, I left her some of the at Barbie style clothes. Welcome to my workroom down here in the Barbie bunker. I'm Xena, and I'm critical. And for those of you who are also critical and pedantic, the source material for this reaction video has been edited for pacing. Dead air and unrelated material have been removed, but the clips remain chronological and in context. A link to the full stream is in the description box below.
It's my hot body, I'll do what I want.
It's showtime.
Where is the fucking... Here it is. Dude, a department that has almost been fully dependent on the gala as a source of its annual funds since the party began in 1948. Since 2016, we've been putting some money that we raised for the gala inside of a quasi-endowment. Andrew Bolton, the Costume Institute's curator in charge, said this month.
Summary. Since 2016, the Costume Institute, recognizing that Met Gala is a bit unreliable as a source of funds, has been investing in an endowment fund.
Oh, thank God. The Met Gala and the Costume Institute has also turned into a bank. Also turned into a fucking bank. Everything computer, everything is a bank. We've turned us into a gay hedge fund like our colleges.
That's Hassan's Trump voice.
And by 2030, possibly as soon as 2028, the Costume Institute will have saved enough of a nest egg to potentially support its own basic operations for the foreseeable future, no matter what happens in the greater museum economy or with the gala itself.
An interesting historical note here is that the Met Gala itself didn't begin until after World War II.
I and the museum always wanted the department to not be as reliant on the gala every year, Bolton said. The Met Gala is extraordinary, but sometimes it dwarfs everything. A more permanent and reliable solution was necessary to ensure that we would be safe in terms of the upkeep and care of our collection and have enough money to take care of ourselves indefinitely.
Here, Hassan is providing an excellent example of the faux teaching strategy, let's learn together, by pretending the information he's reading was something with which he was already familiar.
So the article is basically talking about how they have raised enough funds to not only sustain the Costume Institute, but they've also raised additional funds that they've put on the side to in an endowment process to, you know, participate in the market.
The first Met Gala was held after a time of war and austerity. It's notable that this endowment fund started in 2016, which was the first year of the first Trump presidency.
This crazy talk, you're telling me one of the world's top museums is only surviving because of a once-a-year celebrity self-jerk-off? Yes.
No! It's a primary source of funding, which is running dry.
And not just the museum, one part of the museum. Yes, dude.
All it takes to get Hassan to value art is to have an exclusive event about it.
Yes, because in the United States of America, we don't give a fuck about the arts. Have you not figured it out by now?
No, Republican-led federal governments don't care about the arts, unlike Americans themselves.
We have some public funding initiatives.
Different category, dude. Now you're talking about PBS.
But the reality of the matter is we unironically do not have the necessary public funding for any of these art initiatives at all.
He knows that initiative and institute are different words, yes? No.
So no, this doesn't even fund the the entire Metropolitan Museum of Art. It funds literally just the Costume Institute.
The Costume Institute has over 33,000 objects, puts on shows, creates printed literature, and provides a reference library for fashion studies.
Yes. Also, this is true of every museum. The Met is just in New York where rich and famous people are, yes.
And there's still a lack of funding. So museums like the Met and the MoMA are forced to do things like this. Starry Night Barbie, she comes with both ears.
I mean, I've gone like if you go to the LACMA, okay?
He's in Manhattan a lot. He's never been to the Met.
You will see, and this is the same for like, I mean, the Getty Museum, literally the Getty Museum.
Ugh, imprecise. Well, there's one museum, it has two different locations.
But if you go to LACMA, there's like an entire wing, for example, dedicated to the LACMA by the pistachio guys, whatever the fuck their name is.
Yeah, just like rides at Disney, entire museums, wings, and displays are sponsored.
They are the Resnicks, thank you.
Why, yes, he did go off on an unrelated tangent.
But yeah, that's how it is. Okay, listen.
Good news! knows everyone.
One of Hassan's viewers copy posted Hassan's own statement about the Met Gala, so we get to see it directly.
Once again, even though chat won't respect what I say the Met Gala is a charity function that functions both to promote the height of the arts and culture while also teaching the public via the Costume Institute and its annual exhibitions. In an era where the arts are being pushed to the wayside for AI bullshit, having an event where the artistic medium of fashion is promoted, not for the purpose of selling a garment, but to push boundaries of fashion as an art form is a good thing. Shrug.
That's not a run-on sentence, that's a runaway train.
Yeah, good luck. There you go, Yubi. I read your fucking comment.
You didn't, though. That was your comment.
And now, guess what? Everyone in the chat is going to yell at you.
Does he dislike his chat, or is this some sort of like Dom sub thing?
Okay. And each garment worn represents tens of thousands of hours, tens of thousands of jobs, an entire artistic economy that comes together to engage and pursue the entirely human endeavor of artistic vision and beauty. Some may personally not like that endeavor, but it is one that is worthwhile and should be respected.
That was their comment.
I agree with you, but I've learned a long time ago to ever
or never
fucking discuss the arts in this community.
When he says this community, he does realize he's talking about the community he's cultivated, right?
Beyond anime and maybe some hentai, okay?
He just called his audience loser anime gooners.
Anytime, first world problem, shut the fuck up!
Are these tantrums regular?
It's not a fucking first world problem!
Funding a fashion museum with an expensive gala isn't a first world issue.
Every human being has the capacity to engage with art.
So we shouldn't be that excited about the Met Gala because everybody has the chance to interact with art. So why are we talking about it at all?
That's the beauty of art.
And this is giving BDSM. Why is he yelling? He's yelling because his audience gets off on it, maybe? He does?
It's one of the most consequential aspects of human existence. You're a fucking robot.
You don't actually believe that, though. You don't even listen to music. You don't care about art. You care about fashion and status.
Jesus Christ. 100,000 per ticket invitation is not the average person. Oh my God. I'm going to lose my mind. Oh my God.
They're right. You can't have it both ways. This is a highly capitalist endeavor, a museum gala fundraiser. This isn't socialism.
Oh my God. Everyone is being purposely obtuse. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
They're your audience.
Oh, I can't. It's just, this is why. No, we can't have a conversation about fucking anything art related in this community, okay?
Because the audience you've trained to believe in socialism will never agree with you that the Met Gala is a positive thing.
It's a bunch of dumb dullards who literally think, well, this is not for me, so it doesn't matter to me. Fuck you.
Let's explore these feelings. Why does the Met Gala mean so much to you?
Okay, that's it. That's it. A bunch of fucking Philistines.
I thought it was Philistines. Stein. I guess it depends on the family.
Oh my God. Barbaric stem cells just that have no appreciation for the arts, and therefore it should not exist.
This guy and his scarecrows. That's not what they're saying. They're saying the Met Gala shouldn't exist, not that art should be eliminated from the world. And you know that, but your argument goes against your own values, so you can't actually say it.
This you, Hassan?
No.
The fuck is this, bro?
Hassan doesn't see his audience as a reflection of himself.
I love that half your community is well-read and loves the arts, and the other half are ding-dong gamers. Only you can bring us together. Love the belt and jeans today, by the way. Thank you.
And each half thinks the other half is the other half.
Oh my God. Ay, ay, ay. For a lot of people, they do two things. Number one, if I don't like it, then it's much easier for me to disparage it without actually looking into it, right?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
That's the one thing that people do that I get really annoyed with. The other thing that a lot of people do, especially on the left, is
prediction. He's going to name another one of his negative traits.
The moralization of their distaste. You can't just say, you can't have a nuanced perspective on anything.
Damn. I wish I could use steak to bet on my own reactions.
You can't just be like, yeah, this is optically not the greatest look, I'll admit.
If it was just optical, it wouldn't be a problem, but we're hearing your words too, so...
You know, this level of extravagance, it's not for me, right? You can't just say that. You can't just keep it at that. You have to be like, no, this is the grossest, most like exploitative...
They're not saying it's the worst thing that's ever existed. They're not comparing the Met Gala to a Holocaust.
Thing, and you're a bad person if you enjoy it. There's no...
So it's a bad thing to make only negative statements about something you dislike, eh?
There's no there's no reason for this event to exist.
The article you didn't finish reading states that this is increasingly the opinion of the public.
Like it's unethical, all this shit. It's like, ugh.
I hate when my audience tries to hold me accountable for what I've taught them.
Like, you don't have to moralize or distaste. You could just say, I don't like it. That's it.
They're not here to express their distaste for fashion events. They're here to moralize about political topics.
Interesting to me that the Met Gala gets compared to the Hunger Games more than the Oscars red carpet, the Super Bowl halftime show. All of these involve spectacles, celebrities, and extreme displays of wealth.
The Super Bowl halftime show is a show that's in a show that people can watch on their televisions. The Oscars red carpet is strictly about fashion, and the Oscars themselves are also broadcast for public viewing, unlike the Met Gala, which is private.
Notably, only one of them is a charity for a public institution, the Met Gala, which is a fundraiser for the Met Museum.
You know, the Met Museum does charge an admission.
The difference, I think, is that the Met Gala leans more into unusual outfits. That's natural, given that it's a fundraiser for a costume institute. But to me, the perpetual criticism which comes up year after year speaks to how people see fashion as frivolous and not as serious as other corners of culture, such as sports or movies. Exactly. It's because the people that are, it's because the people that like appreciate it.
You can have an appreciation for art and still be critical of hypercapitalism.
Enjoy it, care about it, are smaller, I think.
Not fewer, smaller.
And therefore, it's seen as a silly hobby for only wealthy people.
Oh, but it can be, and it is.
Okay. The more extreme the outfit, the more it offends the public, even if such work is an expression of artisanship and craft, no different from an artist creating a painting.
What happened to nuance? Red carpet looks are the same as Van Gogh's?
I've said it before, but Western culture has a long history of seeing clothes as frivolous.
I'm afraid this person he's quoting might be stupid.
Even if everyone engages in self-fashioning.
Using fashion the verb and fashion the noun interchangeably is not a good look. This post is by a menswear fashion writer. I don't think it's the best source for an argument here.
And it's notable that serious areas of culture are often masculine coded, e.g. architecture, while feminine coded interests such as fashion are considered frivolous.
That was so boomer coded.
One can reasonably question whether the Bezos are trying to whitewash their reputation through the fashion industry. They are.
Actually, it's more like Bezos imitating Andrew Carnegie in the best way he knows how.
They are. And this is no different than Palantir coming out with chore quotes, okay?
One of these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong.
This is no different than all these other companies that are engaging in a billion different unethical endeavors.
And the Met Gala is just a tiny sin amongst their bigger sins, so we should excuse it.
Trying to engage in taste washing.
This dude has tons of money, but he can't coin a phrase.
Okay?
No, it's not okay, but I can't wait to hear your definition.
They are trying to do PR to make it seem like they have taste.
Hassan, the nouveau riche have a long history of attempting to buy status and class with their money.
They are trying to buy taste.
And so do you. But all of the fashion you buy is distasteful.
Now, of course, the Bezos, they can't actually buy taste.
He's not familiar with the term nouveau riche, is he?
They look like crazy people on the fucking runway when they go through the Met Gala.
That's not how it works. The rich people wear normie clothes. And the people who wear the fashionable clothes are celebrities being sponsored by fashion houses, and they're starting to complain about that expense.
As opposed to everybody else. But that is exactly what it is. Look at us. We are funding the arts. Look at us. We are cultural tastemakers.
This is a really elementary level. Are his audience children?
Right? That's the whole point. That's exactly what they're trying to do. It's already backfired on them, though.
My guy, it was front fired. Nobody likes them.
It's already backfired on them because there's a bunch of high profile guests that didn't want to be associated with this event this year, specifically because the Bezos couple is in charge of it.
And he can name exactly one of those people.
Anyway, Elon Musk, although I would note that we're all participating on Elon Musk's platform, so I see some hypocrisy among those who criticize Met Gala but won't deactivate their accounts. That's a bad argument.
Why? Why is that a bad argument? What is the merit of Twitter?
You can That's crazy.
Crazy is you thinking that not using Twitter is crazy.
That's a bad argument. One is the ownership over an entire fucking the media platform that people use to communicate with one another. The other one's the Met Gala.
That's not the point. The point is class warfare against billionaires.
But I also, even though I am in agreement with the overall point that he's making about the Met Gala, that's a silly comparison to make. Anyway.
It's not silly, but you don't like it, so you're going to minimize it as much as you can.
But I also think we can tax the rich and encourage them to donate to public cause, including institutions like the Met. Given my interest, I also think we should take fashion and clothing more seriously. Thankfully, some real researchers and academics are making headway in that regard.
Speaking of regard, this Twitter post is giving a word that rhymes with it. People do study fashion. That's why there's a costume institute.
Politicization of aesthetics. The other side of Benjamin's aestheticization of politics is totalitarian funk being carried.
He's reading a chatter who imitated Hassan's trait of using big words instead of using meaning.
From some of the AES states, we can take plenty of lessons from the AES.
Talk about a lack of nuance. If we're against a gala, we might as well be the alliance of Sahel states in their war on Western culture.
Rejecting art and travel, blanketed as tourism, are two we should not. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But they were using your syntax. That's the way you talk. Are you saying you're dumb?
And you know it. Women architects exist. It's not something that's exclusive to men, and most fashion people, especially for women's clothes, be it lingerie or shoes or men, the difference is housing over clothes. We used to live in caves before we covered ourselves in animal hides and leaves.
That's a different chatter saying that clothing is not important because housing takes precedence.
What are you saying? Brother, fashion is seen as a more feminine interest, whereas architecture is seen as a more masculine interest, is what the argument that he was presenting.
That was the first and last time Hassan will be correct about anything in this video.
But that's not even like the main point here. The main point is, as you're also leaning into, art and clothing. Clothing is seen as frivolous.
Hassan sees himself as sort of a bro alpha male. So when you're saying that something he enjoys is feminine, he takes personal offense to that.
That's it. Fashion and clothing is seen as fucking frivolous.
It's not. It is a life necessity.
It's not seen as like an important part of artistic expression. It's seen as totally secondary.
Then there wouldn't be a costume institute for the Met Gala to raise funds for.
It's seen as inconsequential. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. A lot of people can just like cast it aside.
And when people can't afford gas, they don't give a shit about Starry Night either. Starry Night Barbie, she'd fit in at the Met.
And that's the reason why a lot of people get mad at this shit rather than any of the other gross displays of wealth and abundance.
It's because the Met Gala is a private event. It is a group of wealthy people doing something privately where nobody else gets to enjoy it.
No, frivolous clothing is seen as frivolous. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh God.
This isn't a miscommunication issue so much as it is an emotional intelligence issue. Hassan can't admit that it's his feelings that are hurt when his audience is so against something he covets so greatly.
As far as the Met Gala controversy is concerned, Jeff Bezos and Lawrence Sanchez's obscene wealth is really secondary to their generational lack of coolness.
Twitter is Hassan's sole source of information on everything.
Sorry, losers, but you can't buy swag or good taste. Your party sucks. Anyway, this is why I rarely ever discuss. This is why I rarely ever discuss art.
You rarely discuss art because you have no interest in art.
Or not art, but specifically fashion. Because the overwhelming majority of people don't give a fuck about fashion, so they can easily disparage it and they can just say, it's not real art. Who gives a fuck? You're being stupid.
Has Hassan tried discussing fashion on his streams? I just noticed that he tries to wear fashion with varying degrees of unsuccess.
Whereas, like, if I were to say that about anime, people would be like, how dare you fucking say that? I'll kill you.
See, his loser interest isn't any worse than your loser interest.
Or if I were to say that about video games, they'd be like, what? No, I care about that. So why would you shit on that?
Hassan, both anime and video games are available to the public at large. Again, you're missing something here. The thing you're missing is the exclusivity aspect. That which you covet is what your audience despises.
Okay, that's what it is. What is this? Left-wing satire is structurally impossible.
Here, Hassan tries to manage his anger by changing the subject. Of course it doesn't work.
You cannot educate people on class consciousness and then complain when people don't like something that is obviously not a working class characteristic. Fashion is rich people's thing. Make it relevant to the working class and then we can talk. No, this is just literally No, you're just wrong. You're fucking wrong.
Yes, but do you have the capacity to explain how they are wrong?
Okay. Artisan hands touch every garment that is produced. That's number one. Okay.
The difference between an artisan and a factory worker is about $100,000.
There's not a single thing that is designed at the Met Gala and worn by all these obscenely wealthy people.
Didn't he see the picture of Lauren Bezos? The obscenely wealthy people aren't the ones wearing the costumes.
That hasn't had workers work on it. Okay. That's number one.
Ah, you see, the more expensive a piece of clothing, the more ethically it was produced.
Number two, there is a very long history of artistic expression in the form of fashion within the worker side of things as well.
I want to know his definition for worker because it's giving descamisados.
I'm currently literally wearing a fucking Carhartt shirt.
Because it's currently fashionable.
For example, what the fuck do you think that is? Okay.
I think it's a brick and mortar store that you've never gone to because you don't visit those neighborhoods.
The idea that like the idea that fashion is not like a working class thing at all is unbelievably stupid.
It is, and you're the only one making that argument.
It's not true. Expensive fashion is not art. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm starting to think this isn't an audience manipulation, but a serious lack of knowledge. He doesn't know what haute couture is, does he? He doesn't have the vocabulary to explain the difference between the costumes created for the Met Gala and other expensive fashions.
Oh, Zoran's take. Work of art, turning the lens on the workers who power fashion.
That was a preloaded tab. He got the word workers from Mamdani. That's why he's been using that word. Oh, that is so creepy.
While the world's eyes are on fashion's biggest night, we're turning ours on the garment, retail, and warehouse workers who keep the industry running. From the true love found on the picket line to the free tailoring school out of a Brooklyn basement, meet the New Yorkers who made it all possible. This is awesome. Union workers, especially garment workers, built this country, says Christopher Anderson. Sonia?
And after they built the country, their living wage was taken away as manufacturers moved production overseas for slave wages instead.
Castrejon. Ernestine Gay. This is dope. I'm glad that he did this. This is cool. He also refused to go to the Met Gala.
He disagrees with you, but that's okay because he's Zoran.
Pretty sure he was invited and he said he didn't want to go.
What do you mean you're pretty sure? He's the mayor of New York. Of course he was invited.
Do these idiots think movies aren't art since studio films have budgets of hundreds of millions of dollars? No, they consume movies and they like movies.
But movies aren't exclusive, like a gala.
That's what it is. I've tried to explain this to people.
He says that a lot, doesn't he?
That's literally all this is because you watch movies and you like movies, but you look down on fashion because you don't give a fuck about it. That's literally all it is.
What they don't give a fuck about is haute couture and the kind of fashion you indulge in, which none of your audience can possibly afford.
It's that simple, but people don't ever want to come to that recognition. They want to think that they have an ethical calculation that they're making here.
You've taught them that every thought and action that they have or take is directly related to their ethics and their worth as a person.
Yeah, they do not care about fashion. This is always what happens whenever fashion gets brought up in this community. Hella chop motherfuckers in the chat. Okay, now they're gonna get even more mad. This is art, just like what you see, the extravagance that you see at Met Gala is also art.
No, it's not. That's an article about people working in the industry. It's not about people creating in the industry.
I think you're purposely being obtuse now. No, I'm not.
I always ask that about lolcows. Are they being stupid on purpose, or are they truly that stupid?
I'm not.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to think you are.
This is a consistently held position that I refuse to entertain because chat gets in their feelings every time I talk about it.
Wow. He's so emotionally stunted, he projects his own feelings onto his audience.
I don't listen to music.
And that itself is sus.
Imagine if I ran around saying music is fucking counter-revolutionary. It's bourgeois decadence. All these artists are making dollars. All these record labels are making billions of dollars.
If I built a straw man for every straw man that Hassan creates, I'd have an army of scarecrows and I could rule the world!
To do what? Like, that would be insane, right? You would look at me like I'm an insane person. person.
Looking at you as an insane person is the status quo.
Just because I don't like it doesn't mean I can't comprehend that it's a profoundly important part of artistic expression.
By the transitive property of nonsense and bullshit, the Met Gala has turned into the entire fashion industry. And how silly to mock an entire industry.
And it plays a formative role in people's development and the way they feel things.
Don't you guys get it? The way you feel about music, about a particular band or piece of music, that's how Hassan feels about fashion.
100K ticket is excessive? Dude, what the fuck are you saying? Why do you think it's $100,000 so they can do a hoity-toity exclusive event? It's so that they can fundraise for the fucking Costume Institute.
Yes, but think of all the money wasted putting on a gala. That could have gone to the Costume Institute. You see what we're getting at here?
I literally just explained it to you. It's a fundraiser.
And all fundraisers have a gala component, guys. Come on, don't you remember selling wrapping paper in elementary school? There was a gala. You just never sold enough rolls to be invited.
Oh!
This is one of those cortisol spikes looks maxers talk about.
In a normal functioning society, in a perfect society, it wouldn't be, but still, how can I get into it? Oh my God, you don't have to.
They're making fun of you. That's you. You're the person doing that.
I don't even like the optics of it, but it's really fucking unbearable when people just make this argument over and over again. I get it, it's art. Okay. Well, guess what? You don't actually have to go to the Met Gala. You don't go to the Met Gala at all, as a matter of fact. You know where you go to? The Met, which is free.
No, it's not.
Or you pay as much as you want to.
The website says it's $30.
Okay, to get in. That's what you do. Part of that upkeep is paid for by the fucking Met Gala.
He doesn't know that the free admission is only for locals, does he?
At least for the Costume Institute.
The article states that about 10% of the money raised by the gala goes to the main museum.
Do you understand? Okay, yes, sir. Shake me. There you go.
Ew, oh, that is gross. I did not like that.
Why don't the Mets fund their own gala? How about the Mets fund their way to a fucking dub for once?
You don't have enough baseball cred, much less New York cred, to be saying anything about the Mets, bro.
Is now 2026 and we're still on Gucci shirt discourse? Yes, always.
No, the discourse was about having expensive fundraisers instead of just providing money to institutes for the public interest.
They have a recommended donation, but admission is free. Yes.
Again, only if you live there.
Are people just mad now because Bezos bought his chair position? Yes. That's a perfectly valid thing to criticize, by the way.
We know it's valid to criticize because you've been doing it, therefore it must be okay.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm with you. That's my criticism as well. Okay, now we're cooking. If you want to talk about that, then yeah.
But if you want to disagree with me about the thing I love most in the world, fashion, I'm just not here for you, dude.
I'm there with you, okay? But if you're gonna be like, wow, what the fuck are these guys doing? Fuck these people. It's just like, whatever. You're talking to terminally online people about fashion. I know. It always turns into just this endless back and forth, this endless fucking argument.
Because you build straw men to fight instead of facing the fact that your desire to attend the Met Gala is incompatible with socialism.
Anyway, Queen Kwan's take. This Amazon has prom dress.
Hey, it's Jocelyn Wildstein. I bet Hassan looks at that face and finds it familiar.
Oh, I am once again begging chat to read about the Zoot Suit riots.
This is an education channel. The Zoot Suit riots were a series of racial attacks against Mexican Americans in Los Angeles during the summer of 1943. Under the pretense their clothing wasted fabric during a time of war.
And tell me fashion has nothing to do with marginalization? I love zoot suits. I still have yet to get a zoot suit, but I really want one. They're so sick.
He doesn't know about the race riots, does he?
Yes, I've covered it before.
Never mind, he says he does.
Probably because of another one of these. I have probably argued with chat and explained zoot suits in one of these tangents about art.
Okay, then do it again. Show us right now. Oh, that's right. You don't know what the Zoot Suit riots were.
is one of these rants. Yes, I have this conversation once a year whenever the Met Gala happens, and I have to explain to you that, like,
I really know about the history of social justice in America, I swear.
well, yes, it's an extravagant event, and it looks gross, and it's basically fucking it basically looks like the fucking Hunger Games. At the end of the day, fashion is a profoundly important part of artistic expression.
Absolutely. Let them eat Hermes.
And this the Met Gala is done specifically to fundraise for the Costume Institute.
And galas aren't at all a waste of money that should be going to charity. Right, Ian and Anissa?
Hello, everybody. I am here at the Creator Clash 2 Gala red carpet.
You know, despite it being a fun event, we lost $250,000.
That's the reason why it's so expensive now. Still way below music and movies, though. Sorry.
They're not letting it go.
Dude, you should unironically watch The Devil Wears Prada, okay?
The Devil Wears Prada is fiction.
Because this is such an idiotic take, because I know for a fact that you're wearing clothes right now, okay? You are literally currently wearing clothes, okay? Someone designed those clothes.
We're not having an argument about the necessity of clothing. We're having an argument about the necessity of expensive, exclusive, elite events in a time when most Americans are experiencing financial stress.
The reason why you're wearing those clothes is because some people at a certain point in time made the decision to advance fashion in that regard.
He's confusing fashion with utility.
Okay? Just roll the fucking clip. Let's just roll the Devil Wears Prada clip. Devil Wears Prada 2 just came out.
Fuck that. Let's rewatch the entirety of Ugly Betty.
I'm wearing a barrel and braces. Here. Lady, it's just clothes. Quit sniffing your own farts. See, this is what I mean.
What would happen if one of your chat asks you, who's your favorite designer and why? What would happen?
This is what I fucking mean. Isn't she pretentious? STEM Lord? Oh my God. Oh my God. She's right, okay?
Does he not know this character is based on Anna Wintour and he could have quoted her?
Also, that ensemble is hideous, but that's besides the point.
Quick, look over there.
I'm sure that was popping in 2006 when this movie came out.
You're admitting that in the last 20 years, you've learned nothing about fashion other than what you picked up from The Devil Wears Prada.
But, oh God, Chatter didn't get the point.
Your fake point that because someone had to design clothing at some point, it's an art?
Every single fucking thing that you're wearing, including this, okay? Including this fit, it comes from decisions that fashion designers made many decades ago.
How does that support the necessity of a fundraising gala?
Okay, so even if you are just like, oh, whatever, I'm just picking this shit up, down to the fact that even t-shirts exist.
He talks about what he sees, not what he thinks.
Down to the fact that cargo shorts exist, dad shoes, all of that.
Has nothing to do with a fancy party.
All of that had a designer.
Yes, at some point, someone invented shoes. What is your point?
Make it, and then it fell out of favor, and it made its way into a fucking bargain bin at Ross Dress for Less where you picked it up.
Is there something wrong with shopping at Ross? Should we be shopping at other stores? What if we can't afford to?
That's it. Yeah, dude, without fashion designers that invent clothes, we'd all be naked. Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's what you've been saying. That's exactly what you've been saying.
Oh my God. I swear to God, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. There's just going to be people that will just, their inability to understand this concept is, we're never going to get it across, I think.
Did it work, guys? Have we forgotten that the argument was about the Met Gala?
We're outnumbered, I fear. Yes, that's why I don't talk about it in this fucking community, okay?
But you said you gave this huge lecture on zoot suits.
And for the record, the white t-shirt is one of the hardest and most labor-intensive pieces of clothing to manufacture.
So he just reads whatever people write there and he just believes it?
Yes, we are outnumbered. Many of you, oh God.
This latest manipulation technique is the cool people agree with me. You should agree with me.
We're outnumbered. And honestly, you guys love AI art. I think that's what it is.
Good, because that's what you use for your merch.
I'm shocked that there are so many people who hate AI art in this community, but.
And here's a completely different subject. You know, Trump calls this the weave.
When it comes to fashion, they're like, what? I don't understand. I don't understand. This is how Republicans talk about modern art? Yeah.
See, chat, you're acting like Republicans, and Republicans are bad.
No, literally.
Figuratively.
It's so funny. Nah, they love dogs playing cards type pictures.
Oh, please do have a discussion about fine art now.
Yeah, chatters look at Patrick Bet David's beautiful portrait of himself alongside, Martin Luther King and Einstein and shit, and go, that's peak art. That's what I'm talking about.
All clothing is art, but not all paintings are art.
That's what I'm fucking talking about, dude. That's it. But she's wrong though. The job she's talking about is just third world exploitation. I get the value of fashion as an art, and I hate how exploitative this bullshit is, though the fault of capitalism, not the art.
And the Met Gala is capitalism for the arts.
It's not that hard. Don't even get me started on this side of the fucking conversation. Many of the fucking many of the fashion houses that are actually the most expensive pieces of clothing, unironically, don't rely as much on third world exploitation as the fucking Forever 21's jeans that you purchase that you think are more ethical.
But they're arguing against fast fashion. Did you not understand that?
And that's before we even talk about fast fashion and its impact on the environment, okay?
I think his audience knows more about this than he does.
All the cheap clothing that you purchase as opposed to...
Is he steering this argument in the direction I think he is?
As opposed to articles of clothing that require like craftsmanship, artisanship, that is made in European fashion houses.
Thanks to Hassan, I get to share Sam Vimes' theory of socioeconomic unfairness.
Those are actually unironically more ethical, if you want to think about it that way.
Leaving us with the thought that being poor is being unethical because you can't afford things that are made ethically. He gave me a perfect opportunity to share with you the Sam Vimes Boots theory of socioeconomic unfairness. Link in the description box. The reason that the rich were so rich, Vimes reasoned, was because they managed to spend less money. Take Boots, for example. He earned $38 a month plus allowances. A really good pair of leather boots cost $50, but an affordable pair of boots, which were sort of okay for a season or two, and then leaked like hell when the cardboard gave out, cost about $10. Those were the kind of boots Vimes always bought and wore until the soles were so thin that he could tell where he was in Ankh-Morpork on a foggy night by the feel of the cobbles. But the thing was that good boots lasted for years and years. A man who could afford $50 had a pair of boots that'd still be keeping his feet dry in 10 years' time, while the poor man, who could only afford cheap boots, would have spent $100 on boots in the same time and would still have wet feet. If you enjoyed the video, please listen to Little Yoda and hurry back by subscribing and ringing the bell. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hurry back, we've been dying to have you.
Fine, I'll take it off.